Right, hello lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under. And Celtic are back in action, and you can never ever complain when that comes along. Now, as we always do with these match previews, we'll be covering the game, both clubs' form running into it, injuries and suspensions, my predicted Celtic starting 11, and my final score prediction. Before we get into the video though, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's free, it's easy, it's 2 clicks, and I don't know, just makes me feel good. So without further ado, let's get into it. And now, so the game. Celtic are due to welcome Livingston into the place that we call paradise. Now, for a game in which Celtic not only need revenge, but need 3 points, it's gonna be a tough game. I can't say much more than that, but 3 points is all that's required from today. Now, as for form running into the match, and at the moment, Celtic domestically are 4 wins from 4. And as for all competitions, 5 wins from 5. We've only conceded 2 goals in our last 5 games in all competitions. Our form is impeccable. We seem unstoppable. And touch wood, we should be continuing that form tonight. This form, however, has seen us end up sitting second on the table, which is a big difference to what it was when we last played Livingston. I can't remember exactly, but we were certainly not this high up. Now, as for Livingston, they've been looking better recently. They've been playing better football. They've had 2 wins and a draw in their last 3 matches. And they've only conceded 2 goals in their last 3 games, which is really good. No, I got that wrong. They've conceded 3 goals in their last 3 matches. That's not as good as I thought. But still, their form is certainly shaky. They haven't been able to hit a strong run of good wins and good fixtures. But they have shown this season that they are very capable of dancing with the big teams and certainly taking the game to them, as we all know when we travelled to the Tony Macaroni Stadium. Now, as for injuries and suspensions, and we'll continue on the topic of Livingston, and look, they do have a suspension. Holding midfielder Ben Williamson was shown a straight red in their game versus Dundee United, so he can't take any part in this match. As for injuries for Livingston, and they are without Adam Lewis and James Penrice. Andrew Shinnie, he is nearing a return for Livingston, but it's not expected he'll take any part in the match either. And then goalkeeper Daniel Barden is undergoing cancer treatment, so I wish him a speedy recovery and hope he's doing okay. Now into the Celtic squad, and unfortunately for the first time in many weeks, maybe a few, I'm not sure, but for the first time in a while, Celtic we have some unfortunate and some bad injury news. So Tom Rogic is going to be out for the rest of Celtic's games before the next international break. He picked up a hamstring strain and not a tear, so he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. And there's no way of him playing tonight. Same as Julien Karamoko and James Taylor. They also will not feature in this match whatsoever. You've got Juranovic, however, on the other hand, he actually is okay from the Hibs game, so we expect him to play 100%. Then Jamesy Forrest is actually going to have a late fitness test to prove to the team, the coaching staff and Ange, whether he is available and fit enough and ready to play and take part in this match. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there, because he's actually done pretty well for himself, Jamesy Forrest, getting back this quickly. And that is credit to the new sports scientist coach, Antti McAlone. I can't say his name. Forgive me, but it is credit to him, because he's gotten James Forrest. If he's gotten James Forrest ready to go this quickly, for someone who's really bad with injuries, that is I cannot discredit that whatsoever. But now we go into our starting 11 prediction. And this week, I think I've came up with something that's going to turn heads. Heads will roll, I guess you could say. I think it's going to get a bit backlash, but look, just hear me out and let me explain my decisions before, you go ape shit on me. But look, the back 4, it's not weird or wacky. Joe Hart, Ralston, Cameron Carter-Vickers, and Carl Starfelt as the 4 centre-backs. And, 4 centre-backs? Ralston, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Starfelt, and Juranovic as the 4 players at the back. Juranovic is doing really well for a player out of position, and the thing is, you can't justify him replacing Tony Ralston at right back. So it's interesting. He's doing well, and I think right now he's probably playing the best out of anyone. Bolingoli, I'd like to see get a run there, but I do think Ralston and Juranovic are our 2 best wing backs at the moment. Now into the midfield triangle, and just hear me out here. McGregor at CDM, David Turnbull in his usual box-to-box sort of role, And then I'm going with Jota at cam. Look, hear me out here, because the last time we played Nearbaton, McGregor and Turnbull in the same team, we needed Tom Rogic to come on and win us the match. We need more flair in that cam position, and Jota has shown he's more than capable than playing in tight spaces and playing successful long passes and short passes, because as we all saw against Aberdeen, Turnbull and McGregor very, very quiet playing out of their usual positions. And it's definitely unconventional, but I think it's something that could work. Do I expect Ange to play that? No, not necessarily, but still, it'd be interesting to see if it did happen. Then up front, in my front three, considering Jota is in the cam position, we're going with Mikey Johnston on the left. Then I've got Abada on the right, and then Kyogo up top. Now, this is another position, another set of positions where it could look completely different. You could easily have Abada on the subs. You could have Giacomakis up top and Kyogo on the right wing. Look, but I feel in order to unlock Livingston's defence, because we saw how stubborn they are last time we played them in defence, we need players who can open up and create movement. And if we have Jota and Kyogo running through that middle, it is going to cause nightmares for the Livingston defence. And it will create more and more gaps for other players to penetrate in and just bag in some goals. But, no, that was a very, very unconventional lineup. I'm sure loads of you will disagree with me. But you guys are entitled to your opinions. I'm entitled to mine. So just leave it in the comments below what you think about it. I think it'd be an interesting lineup. Will I think Ange will play it? Certainly not, but that is something I'd like to see. So not really a prediction, more like what Aiden wants to see as the Celtic lineup. But look, we go into the final score prediction, and there's a couple of ways this game could, pan out. Number one, Livingston get an early goal and sit back for the rest of the match like they did last time Celtic played them at the Tony Macaroni Arena. And if that happens, if Livingston get the early goal, Celtic could easily drop points, especially without Tom Rogic, that creative outlet. It's going to be tough because Livingston are a very stubborn team, but I hate their play style if they go 1-0 up. I literally hate it so much. It frustrates me so much. But you got to do what you got to do to win in football, and they did what they had to do last time out, and hopefully Celtic can nullify that. And if they do get the first goal, Livingston, hopefully Celtic will be able to bounce back. The other way I can see this game panning out is that Celtic just score a couple early goals, Livingston sit down, and it becomes a 6-0, 7-0 scoreline. Do I think either of these outcomes are very likely? No, I don't see either of them really happening, to be honest with you guys. What I think is going to happen is that the first goal for Celtic is going to be very, very tough to get, but even the fact with the home crowd behind us, I think that it's not going to come as easy as it did against Hibs. Maybe I'd say you'd be looking like 30, 35 minutes. I think it would take that long for Celtic to get the opening goal, because Livingston are going to bring it to us in that first maybe 10, 15 minutes. They're going to really put pressure on Celtic, trying to get an early goal and do what they did last time. But I think if we do score an early goal, I think the team will be inspired by the home crowd to put 2 or 3 more. I think that's something that really played in Livingston's favour last time we played them. The fact that they had the home crowd behind them. And this time the tables have turned. We're at Paradise. We have Kyogo and McGregor back. Unfortunately, no Rogic, but I certainly do think this team is much stronger than last time. But it won't come as easy as I think a lot of people expect it to, because Tom Rogic's absence certainly does hinder Celtic's creative attacking flow. But hopefully whoever is chosen to take that spot, which I assume it will be Turnbull, I wouldn't mind it being Jota. I wouldn't mind it being a lot of players, to be honest with you. I feel there's quite a few players in the Celtic squad who could play that cam role in the absence of Tom Rogic. But whoever it is, they will have to be the creative spark today, and the goals are going to have to come through them. Now, I'm leaning towards 3-0 to Celtic, but I've been told by a very, very formidable, very, very reliable source that Celtic are actually going to go out and win 4-0 tonight. A little someone told me, and that is even with the absence of Tom Rogic and the stubbornness of Livingston's defence. So, I don't know. Apparently it's going to be 4-0. I don't really see a difference between that and 3-0. I just see us getting 3 points at the end of the match, and I think that's all that matters. As long as we're getting the max amount of points from these next few games, I think we're going to be in a good place after the international break. But that is all from me. So feel free to drop your lineup prediction, score prediction in the comments below. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel. But that is all from me. So until next time, hail, hail.